Hello children, today we are going to discuss regarding sustainable management of natural resources. Management of natural resources includes total natural environment which is supporting human life and also contributes to the production of necessities, the requirements which we require, right, we are in, and also the comforts which being provided to us. So we can say that natural resources are the components of atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere as well. Now we can have a look at the types of resources based on their abundance and availability. Natural resources have been divided into two types: exhaustible and inexhaustible type of natural resources. So the exhaustible ones, they easily get vanished from the environment or from the surface of the earth. That is, they are present in limited number or quantity. Example, fossil fuels like coal and petroleum. The other one, inexhaustible natural resources, the ones they do not get vanished or used up so easily, and they are present in plenty. So even if they have been consumed excessively, they remain. So examples we can pose that is with air, sand, different it could be water, totally being available on the surface. So it is been available for a long time. So these are the different types of resources based on their availability and their abundance. So we will talk about management of resources. A system is there which is controlling the use of natural resources, right? Such as it should be avoided with the excessive usage, and then the resources should be used efficiently. That is why it's been said that is there any need for sustainable management? That is what is being called over here. And then sustainability basically is nothing but controlling the usage of resources in such a manner they would be available for the present generations and also will be available for the upcoming generations. Now, sustainable living has always been an integral part of our Indian tradition and culture. That is, our sages have always been discussing or had a proper concern about it and have been informing people. So our long lasting traditions and customs, arts, crafts, festivals, food, our beliefs throughout, they have ingrained us, that is, they have made us in such a manner that philosophy, that entire world would be living in harmony, which is reflected in the phrase of a Sanskrit Vasudevai Kutumbakam, that is, the entire earth is one family. So this phrase has been mentioned in one of the Maha Upanishads, and it's probably the ancient Indian text from Atharva Veda. So it's not just what is being because of the circumstances or with the kind of situation the management of resources being taken care, but our ancestors have always been longing about it. So a proper care has to be taken regarding that. So why do we need to manage our resources? Because they are limited, and then because of the rapid increase in the human population, or we can say population explosion, the resources are day by day being excessively being used up. So if we are ensuring the proper management of natural resources that are being, if we are using them judiciously, they will fulfill the needs of the present generation and will also last for the upcoming generations. Now, the proper management of natural resources takes into consideration long-term perspective rather than short-term perspective. So what does it mean? We have to utilize the resources in such a manner they stay back with the people for a long time instead of for a short duration and later on people suffering. It should not happen. So the proper management can ensure equitable distribution of natural resources so that all the people can benefit from the development of these resources. Now, when we talk about the proper management of the resources, extraction of the resources in our surroundings, their excessive usage, their wastage, all of that should be considered in a proper way, and they should always find ways to minimize the wastage of these natural resources. So when we are talking about this content of sustainable management of natural resources, what are the subtopics to be covered? That would be Ganga Action Plan, 5 R's formula, why should we manage our natural resources, forests and wildlife, water for all, stakeholders. Now we talk about Ganga Action Plan. Now this Ganga Action Plan is a multi-crore project. So when did they start this project? They have started the project somewhere around at 1985, during this year. Very early, isn't it? Because the quality of water in the Ganges was becoming very much poor. Now they could locate coliform bacteria in them. Basically, where is coliform bacteria found? In the intestines. It means it's direct indication that the water is being contaminated by excreta. So there are presence of microorganisms in the river Ganga. In then a graph which indicates the total coliform count levels in river Ganga, where with time the amount, or we can say the most probable number, maximum number of organisms, that is the microorganisms or the E. coli in that river Ganges is being increasing. So when we talk about river Ganges, it runs its course of time over 2500 kilometers, starting from Gangotri in the Himalayas to Ganga Sagar, which mixes up with Bay of Bengal. It passes through the towns and cities in UP, Bihar, West Bengal. So when it is passing through these areas, they are being polluting them. How is it that they are polluting? They throw their garbage into this huge water body. Excreta is being poured into, untreated sewage is being thrown into this Ganges. Every day it has been happening, right? Human activities like bathing, washing of clothes, immersion of ashes, immersion of idols, corpses, industries are contributing a lot with their effluents throughout, is all becoming a load on river Ganga, and it is polluting the total river over there. Then another project, Namami Gange. The program is an integrated conservation mission. This conservation mission is being approved as a flagship program by the Union. Now, this was launched during the year 2014 to accomplish twin objectives with the abatement of pollution, conservation, and rejuvenation of river Ganges. The national mission for cleaning of Ganga is the implementation set up in October 2016. The mission for clean Ganga during the year October 2016, right, it has helped in measuring some of the factors which were useful to quantify pollution, that is what is the extent it is got polluted, right? So based on the various activities in those areas. Now, why do we have to check with the pollutants? Certain pollutants would be there. Though a huge load would be there, it would be very easy to clear off from the water. But again, when we talk about certain pollutants, they are very minute, very least in quantities, but they would be highly toxic. Right. So now, for removing certain materials, they require highly sophisticated equipment so that the area is being free or clear of that pollutants from those areas. Now, main factor which can be checked would be pH. pH plays a major role over here. If the pH of the water is being checked, which is by using an universal indicator, now that is helping in a clear indication that pollutants are being there, right? To what extent is the pH change, it would help. And then we need not feel worried about of all of the problems, because there are many things which we can do which would make a lot of difference, right? So by applying a formula we can make a difference. So what is the formula over here? It's the 5 R's formula, that is refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose and recycle. So 5 R's formula, if it is being applied, we can reduce our worries, and that would help us in dealing with the environmental changes and also to put back the normal conditions, right? So we talk about refuse first. So refuse, it means that is to say no to the things which people may offer but we don't need them. If we refuse to buy the materials which are not necessary for us, right, it would be saving a major part of the environment. So an example we could say saying no to single-use plastics. Now the next R would be reduce. Reducing the wastage of resources in our surroundings. Now that could be, we can save electricity by switching off the fans or turning off the taps when we don't need the water so that it's not overflowing, or repairing of the leaky tanks, like not wasting the food, how much ever necessary is being prepared and the rest all can be saved, right? So we can also think over what resources are available in our surroundings and which we can reduce the usage of and which we can save them without being wasted upon, right? Then we talk about the next R, reuse. Reuse, basically it's actually even better than recycling anything, right? So here recycling basically would require a lot of labor, more energy will be spent, everything. But in case of reuse, right, the strategy we basically use to use the things again and again, instead always going and then getting new things, something like used envelopes, right, and then reverse them and use them again, or so we are able to save a lot of paper over there. Now then plastic bottles which we buy, right, for like storing of groceries, so we can use the bottles of jams, jellies, other materials which we have already got it when we brought some other groceries, and then we can say that different things can be reused again and again, right, so that we are saving. Now the next are repurpose. This means that when a product can no more be used for its original purpose, right, we can change it into some, that is transform into some. For example, crockery, handle of a mug is broken, okay, now what would happen in this? That can be used as a pot for planting of small plants, or we can use them as vessels for feeding of birds. These ways we are changing the purpose of that damaged material and then not letting it being thrown and not letting that pollute our environment. The next thing what we talk about, recycle. Recycling It is nothing but we would collect the different materials which are available in the nature, okay, and then something like plastic, paper, glass, metal items, etc., and then we recycle them instead of again resynthesizing or making them or like extracting them from the fresh materials. It could be from the huge cutting of trees, it could be the glass, metal and all. Instead we are like synthesizing them. So in order to recycle, we need to segregate the waste so that the material can be recycled and not dumped along with the waste. So we can say that utilizing this 5 hours or applying these 5 hours to the daily life or to each and every person in nature, it really can be helpful for everyone, right? To can save the resources, using them judiciously, saving them for the upcoming generations. So even we can make wise decisions in our daily life. We can make environment friendly decisions. Something like we need not do huge things to save the nature. With our small choices, what we do, saving or wasting the usage of electricity, saving water, helping others, right? All of these, when we are opting them, they would be a long term ranging. So now the concept of sustainable development encourages the forms of growth that we need and the current basic human needs. This sustainable management can provide or can make a lot of change in all aspects of life. So it is depending upon the willingness of the people, how they are trying to change their environment, right, and their perceptions of socio-economic and environmental conditions around them, and their readiness for each individual to alter their present use of natural resources. So we can say that by some of the methods which we have been following, it would be helping in saving our environment so that the upcoming generations have been living in ease.